Good afternoon, Devin. Thanks for having me on your program. As the participant in the sector, we have said it is unfortunate that at this time of the year, we are losing learning and teaching time, and students are in the streets, not in the classroom. And I guess it puts more pressure on us as players in the system to find solutions that are lasting. As NSFAS, we see ourselves with a role of continuously trying to improve the efficiency of the administration of the student loan scheme, but also increasing the available pool of resources by looking at recoveries, which is one of the factors that are within our own control, but also talking to people outside in terms of the possibility of increasing our fundraising efforts and getting money from maybe some of the private sector players. We therefore see ourselves as part of the broader solution, but not the only people that are going to solve the current impasse in the sector.
But it's those recoveries that are just so problematic at the moment. And I want to talk about perhaps the financing model for higher education. The events this week would make the proposal of restructuring even more urgent, wouldn't it? Because, as you say, the recovery is actually in a very dismal state at the moment.
The recovery is in a very poor state at the moment. But again, the NSFAS system is not meant to be self-sustaining from recoveries pool. It is a system that is funded from the national fiscus through the national treasury and the Department of Higher Education and Training. And the recoveries are there to top up from what already comes from the national fiscus. That's why recoveries are important, and it's important that as NSFAS, we improve the recoveries. Before this current wave of protest started, as NSFAS, we had already adopted a project to improve on recoveries. We started that project at the beginning of September, and we're seeing the results coming out of that project. We now have just over a 6 weeks period, have 5,000 additional people that have started paying back NSFAS. And that's going to put money on the system, but it's not enough to solve all the current problems that the system has. As you indicated in your initial introduction, over the next 3 years, we estimated that we need about 51 billion rand. And that's money that's not going to come from recoveries. It has to come from a much bigger national project.
On that, can I ask you, were you expecting the Finance Minister, Nhlanhla Nene, to have alluded to some sort of contribution in his budget yesterday to NSFAS or schemes like yours?
No, I think it would have been a too hard expectations from to the finance minister. There's engagements that are taking place with the presidency, the national treasury, the Department of Higher Education and Training, and the vice chancellors and the students to try and solve the current problems. I think we didn't really expect the finance minister because those engagements are still ongoing. They have not yet been concluded.
We heard this week students complaining about that bracket of students who simply don't meet the criteria for getting or achieving loans from NSFAS. They simply get disenfranchised and get lost somewhere in the system. Should students still continue to have faith in NSFAS considering the position that it's in at the moment?
They should, Devin. There is every year about 200,000 university students that are supported by NSFAS through university, and another 230,000 TVET college students that are supported by NSFAS. Therefore, they should have faith. The point that we're making, in as much as we're supporting a substantial number of students, we are still unable to support all those deserving, poor deserving students in the system. And that's where the request and the quest for additional money comes from. But in terms of the students that are already being supported by NSFAS, we're squeezing in efficiencies in that system to ensure that there is improvements that we effect in how the scheme gets administered. And also we try and improve the space of recoveries to include additional money in the system. There's been substantial growth in the amount of money that the scheme has been given by government. But we're seeing that even with that growth, it is still not enough to cover all the needy students.
All right, fair enough. Thanks very much, Msuwa Daka, Chief Executive Officer of NSFAS. Thanks indeed for taking your time to speak to us.